gang, gang. Hey, nothing but love and respect. You might have some cool fans, but mine are the best. We've been through it all, went to war when duty called. Never left a man behind, we move as one is super strong. I don't want followers, that implies I'm the leader. I'm not the captain, I just gave them something they can believe in. I hold the lamp in the darkness, but they're the light that I needed to see the road that we walk in between the angels and demons. And my fans have my back. Hate us if your feelings don't like facts. And my fans will fight back. Beat you with the keyboard you've been using to write back. I guess we need each other like both sides of the battery. We the army, we the homies, we the gang, we the cavalry. We're brothers and sisters, we hold it down like we gravity. Can't nobody break the bond that made us all family.
Me and my fans, we don't care what anybody say. Middle fingers to whoever in the way, man. Me and my fans, we gon' be together to the grave. It's a game till forever and a day, man. Me and my fans, we don't even trip if they hate. We got I don't give a fuck in our veins, man. Me and my fans,
We the hangover gang. Gang, 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 gang.
Oklahoma weather can dish out some of the worst punishment in the world. Hi everyone, I'm meteorologist Tuttle. But now you can fight back by installing Class 4 impact-resistant shingles from Ferguson Roof Systems. These shingles can withstand large hail, heavy rain, and hurricane-force winds, all while keeping your home safe and dry. And the best part? This upgrade is completely free for many homeowners. So call today to start reaping the benefits these Class 4 shingles bring, including a discount on home insurance. Only at FergusonRoofSystems.com. Hey there, meteorologist Tuttle joining you here on a Saturday night, about 10 minutes till the 10 o'clock hour. So thanks for joining me. Richie, I see you in the house with some stars tonight. Thank you very much. Matt also sending me 99. Appreciate you, brother. So thanks for doing that here for me on Facebook. You can send me some Facebook stars like those two gentlemen did. Just hit the button at the bottom. You just hit the star icon. It tells you exactly what to do. And Ashley's doing it. Man, 200 in the house. Richie, back at it. Alex, appreciate you. So those are all very welcomed. On YouTube, you have the super chat function, but thanks again for watching on YouTube and on Facebook here for tonight. So we're going to hang out for a little bit. We're going to talk about the weather, and if you have any questions, I'll answer those. And the questions can be anything. Doesn't have to be weather related. And I'll expand upon whatever limited knowledge that I have and what other question that you may ask me. So if you have some of those, just hang on for a little bit, and we'll get to those here toward the end of the broadcast tonight. You're in for a treat because I'm going to not only give you the forecast here for the rest of this week and into next week, but we're going to take a look at the entire rest of the month into December. And there is some nasty cold air showing up finally in the model data. I'm going to show you where that is, when that'll occur, and whether or not we're going to get some snow out of that. Like, I'm not talking about, maybe a flake mixed in. I'm talking about real bona fide measurable snow. So thanks for joining me. It's gonna get fun. We're basically gonna talk about winter. It's officially here. Why not? It's right around the corner. We're heading to that season, right? Okay, so let's see. First thing I want to do here on Facebook, let me post the link to get a live broadcast notification. So if you're having trouble getting notification from Facebook, you can get them directly from me through your Facebook instant messenger. So click on that little link right there, and it should take you to my little bot interaction, to which you can just type in to watch the broadcast and to manage the messages. And when you manage the messages, you can re-opt in each time to make sure that keeps going. All right, that's business is done, taken care of. Let's get on with the program, shall we? Now today was chilly this morning. So, by the way, yes, this says Texas A&M Aggies, and yes, my team did win handily today. They beat Auburn. It was a tie, man, 3-3 forever, and then just bam, open up the can of whoop, went off to the races. So it was a good day. They had 109,000 people in that stadium. Can you imagine 109,000 college football fans going nuts? That's what that place is like. It's insane. All right, anyway, so we've got the 30s out there here for you this morning. It was pretty chilly. We had some temperatures below freezing way out here in the Panhandle and across far southeastern Oklahoma. Believe it or not, southeastern Oklahoma was colder, 29 degrees in a couple of places out there. So, but the good news is today, man, we warmed up nicely. We hit into the 60s statewide with some 70s and even 80s in the Panhandle of Oklahoma. That is, was that a 40-degree temperature change? Let me go back. So from 30 to 82, whoa, 52-degree warm-up? That's incredible. So this time of year, we can get those wild swings like that. How's it able to heat up so much? First off, dry air. Secondly, you can get any type of subsidence or sinking air off the mountains, which you get a little further out west toward Colorado. Sometimes the weather pattern can generate some air that sinks off those mountains, and we call it compressional warming, and that can help to warm things up. But regardless, great day out there, and it's going to be even better than this for tomorrow. Now out there right now, it's a little chilly, of course, sun's gone. We're into the 50s across most of the state now, 40s out across the east, so still a little chillier out there. Now, wind speeds have been very, very light, so we're few gusts up here around 20 out in far western Oklahoma. Otherwise, light and more of a southeasterly fetch here across the eastern half of the state, not even registering about 5 miles per hour. All right, let's get on with the data, shall we? Let's take a look at the big picture. Jet stream patterns where we're going to go here for you, as always. The brighter the colors, the stronger the storm system. And we've got one here across the southeast. We've got some stretching on up here to the northwest. Put the old play button on, and I'll pause it once we get something interesting around here. So, as we go into Tuesday, Wednesday, here we go. Wednesday morning. Here's Wednesday midday and Wednesday afternoon. So what we have here is a trough of low pressure that is moving on in through Oklahoma. It actually extends kind of in a double barrel situation. One area up here in Canada, we actually almost have a low ourselves coming through. Didn't quite form. Excuse me, I have an itch there. Always happens when I talk. Anyway, we have a low that's trying to form here. So this will be the generator for some storms across Oklahoma, and of course inclement weather pretty much anywhere along and east of this trough axis, and that continues on up to the north. And that'll be on Wednesday of next week. We'll get to the details on that here in a second. But go ahead and finish out the map here. Shows that system works through the northeast, so a big weather maker for those folks, and cold weather generator as well. On downward time, let's see, we just finished the end of that. Let's see, this is through the middle part of November, so through the 16th, so 10 days from now. Another little system coming in, of course, the northwest, and we'll talk about that too. All right, so what happens underneath that? Well, let's take a look at any instability that we may have with that storm system that's coming in for Wednesday. So the Gulf of Mexico, we've talked about this before, has to open up and allow rich, unstable air to get in here, and unfortunately, there's just not a lot to work with. You can barely even make it on this map. It's this light gray shaded area, and when you do, and I've had to pick a sweet spot on the map here in southern Oklahoma, we do get some decent shear discerning with height. And there's enough moisture and instability to get some thunderstorms going. They should be weak right now is what the indications are. Now again, this is only Saturday night, so we'll see if all this holds up. But we are expecting at least some thunderstorms out of this next little wave moving into central and eastern Oklahoma. And what that looks like on the model data, well, let's zoom into that as well right here in the Oklahoma view. And don't expect much here for the next couple of days, although there will be some patchy fog. I'll show you where that will occur here in a moment. Let's see here. There's some shower activity starting to show up there Wednesday around lunchtime, just kind of an indication of moisture returning. And there's some scattered showers, and looks like some thunderstorms here for Wednesday afternoon at 6 o'clock. Scattered over, looks like mainly the eastern two-thirds of the state. So it all depends on the exact track and timing of that upper level trough that moves through. Whether or not they'd form out west or whether or not they'd form east. But right now it has it over affecting central and eastern Oklahoma during the day during the evening and late afternoon on Wednesday. All right, so that's out of here by Wednesday night. It's a fast move. Here's midnight. They're already moving through the eastern part of the state and on Arkansas and Missouri after that. Then we get kind of quiet a little bit. Looks like a little maybe brief shower, sprinkle activity moves through. Looks like for Friday morning. No big signal on that. And then after that, things are quiet until around the 16th. And then looks like a little signal for some light showers may come back into the picture. All right, so now, what is going to happen long term? Well, first off, the climate prediction outlook for the country itself. Warm in the west, cooler in the east, and this stays all the way up through, looks like the 20th of November. We look at precipitation, we're not looking at a whole lot. We do have that one system on Wednesday, but overall the trend is pretty dry here across a good chunk of the country, both short term and long term. All right, so now what else do we have to work with? Let's take a look at temperatures overall. Now this is going to be an interesting map. I haven't shown you this before, I don't believe. But this is temperature anomaly. In other words, how much below or above our average temperature for this time of the year. And this is in Fahrenheit. This is here at the surface. This will be this picture in time, for example. We're showing readings about 14 to 15 degrees above normal here across the Rockies, whereas here in Oklahoma, we were about 5 degrees below normal for this time of the year in the morning, and then down across southeast. You can see how the cool spell is and the warm spell. Now, let's see what happens as we go through time. All right, so let's see. You see those really dark reds there and some yellows? I'll stop. This is Sunday afternoon. Let me see, was there midday? Yeah, that was midday. So up around 28 degrees above normal. Woo, that is some seriously warm weather out here across the plain states on the eastern slopes of the Rockies. Again, the panhandle of Oklahoma is getting into that action. See how that's 24 degrees above normal? And so that is how you can quickly warm up to 50 degrees in the afternoon versus what you had in the morning, right? All right, so let's go on and see what else we got for you. So that little warm spell hits us here for a few days. Enjoy it. It won't last forever. All right, so here is, we did have a front that comes through here on that Wednesday night into Thursday. And if you look at Thursday itself, we're through with those plus 10 to 20 degree temperatures, but we still managed to be about 7 degrees above normal. So what that tells you is that front initially isn't all that cold. Now a secondary push will come in here Thursday night. So here's Friday morning. Now we're below we're below normal a little bit, about 3 or 4 degrees here in Oklahoma City during the day on Friday. Here's a nice little cold patch of colder temperatures though. It's up around minus 20. Below normal, not too far from Oklahoma City, kind of stretching from Miami and the coldest from there to northern Arkansas and Missouri. All right, but you can see how this colder temperature air mass kind of infiltrates the northeast, eastern part of the country through the end of this week. This is on Friday. All right, so Saturday that expands on into Sunday. So there you go. There's all your cold stuff here for the weekend. The eastern half of the country, we kind of have a backdoor effect from that, so it's not a full-fledged front-on assault. It's just a little taste for our upcoming weekend, but definitely some much colder temperatures out there. These are minus 17. There's a purple area about minus 20 degrees below normal out there for your air temperatures. Okay, so let's get on past that period. And what do we have here for Tuesday? Here's another little shot. This is around the 16th. Remember, we had a little bit of rain starting to show up in the forecast that time, so it looks like a little weak system will come on through, and that will bring some cooler weather for the northeast as well. So again, just a little taste for Oklahoma. Otherwise, you see this warm weather right here. Whoa, we're back up to around 20 degrees above normal again. That's Thursday the 17th. All right, then what happens after that? Well, another front looks like it brings in some little slightly cooler temperatures there for Friday the 19th. And what we have, that goes all the way down to Mexico and the northeast. That's a big one. That extends all the way to the east coast here for the next following weekends. This is the weekend of the 20th on Saturday. So same kind of similar deal. Western part of the country is a little warmer. Eastern part of the country is a little colder. All right, and then we're going into, there's another brief warm-up for us around the 22nd. Then back to around plus 20. So there's a kind of a rocky and roller coaster ride where we're going to have a few days we're either at or below normal for our temperatures, and there's going to be several days we're actually above normal for our temperatures. Now that's some pretty good stuff, but that's just the taste. Let's go on long term. So we're going to look at the climate forecast model. And when we look at this, I will show you there will be some really cold air coming. So I'm just going to push this through. There's a good wave. There's another wave. But you see all the red on the map too. So it's kind of a little bit of both. Now here's where it gets interesting. This is a really good wave. Now where are we in time? We went way out. This is Saturday, December the 4th. All right, so there's your minus 37 degrees below normal. My goodness. All right, so that's some cold stuff, right? And that's a brutal assault. This one's coming in directly from Western Canada through the Rockies down in Oklahoma. So our coldest weather happens when we get an air mass that rides right along the front range of the Rockies. Anytime we get an air mass that comes in like this and then kind of goes in this direction, like so, all we get is like a little glancing blow. All right, that's all we get. We don't get a whole lot that comes in here from that, and it moderates and erodes pretty quickly. But when they start in this region and they come due south like this is when we pay the piper. This is where we suffer. All right, so this is on December the 4th. All right, there's December the rest of the afternoon. Man, that's minus 40 just about below normal. Minus 40 degrees. Woo, it's pretty cold. All right, so let's see. There's Sunday morning, and then look at that to the northwest. What's this coming our way? Another round out here across western Canada. Again, all in the pink areas. That's from anywhere from minus 30 to minus 40 degrees below normal. So what does below normal look like? Let's just take a look at the temperatures for those two periods. Kind of give you a little taste of what's coming our way. All right, let's go to the 4th. So for the 4th in Oklahoma, that puts us into the 20s during the day, December the 4th. And that puts these guys up here into the minus teens for daytime highs. Now that's cold. All right, let's see what happens. So that cold weather expands, kind of moderates a little bit in our neck of the woods. Not much, though. And then that new batch kind of filters in up there in the northwest. And these are all actual air temperatures, minus teens to minus 20s. And this stuff right here is building and is wanting to come southward once again back here in Oklahoma as we head into probably the end of that first week of December to the second week. So we might get a really chilly first half of December to kickstart things. That's what I'm saying. So the question now is, do you get snow with that pattern, right? Yes, you do. So let's take a look and see what the models are doing as far as snowfall is concerned. And I'm just going to put the total snow on here to give you an idea. All right, so let's see what happens. Hit the old play button, and we're going to watch this come to pass. So, of course, it always builds up in Canada first, which is where it needs to, because that really helps to keep those air masses nice and cold for us. But the snow track is up to the north into Canada still through most of November. And then, of course, a little taste of it here in the northeast as we head toward the end of November. All right, now we're getting into December time frame. Let me back that up. Back that truck up. What was that? Do you see that right there? That was the end of the month. That was around the 28th. The models are trying to produce a little bit of measurable snow here across Oklahoma and the Texas Panhandle and Colorado. So we'll see if that verifies. Again, that's a long ways out. We're talking 3 weeks or so. But we'll see what happens. Something to watch for. And then what happens after that? That's where the atmosphere really loads up with that cold air. And look what happens across the northern plains and the northern Rockies. Bam! Lots of snow starts to fall. And it's creeping southward. So here's on the 3rd. And then here is the 4th of December. Remember, we got all that cold air in place, and we're starting to have measurable snow in the gray. This is a light gray shading area. So measurable snow from a dusting up to around an inch here in northwest Oklahoma. Now, don't get too excited about the mounts. That's not important. What is important to take home is that the pattern's changing, and it's starting to finally show measurable snow, period. And we won't know the final amounts until we're a couple of days out of any given event. So anytime you see snowfall maps for a forecast, they're usually all garbage until about 24 to 48 hours out. And even then, there's still plenty of wiggle room. There's busts that happen. Warm air comes in at the last minute or never goes away. And you end up with rain and no snow. So there's a lot of stuff that goes on winter weather. But point being, for the 4th, a lot of good measurable snow up in the Rockies. So the ski resorts are going to love it. So you do have some trips. Maybe you want to do some early skiing. Looks like you can probably pull that off with some fresh powder at the end of the first week of December. All right, so that kind of piles on in and builds up in that area. So you can see Kansas and Colorado and Nebraska, all South Dakota getting in on it. And that just kind of continues to pile up here all the way across the northern and northwestern Rockies on into western Canada through that first whole week of December. So that's some good news. That's what we need to see. Now, let me look at the anomaly here real quick. I did not look at this map yet, so let me see this first. Does it tell me anything I want to see? It does a little bit. Okay, so by the end of that period, the anomaly is how much snow are you seeing above normal? In other words, what you would normally see if you were to average out everything given this time of the year, or given that time of the year, because this is in the future. So this is around the first week of December. And it's several inches, about almost 9 inches of snow above normal here across the central plain states, northern plains, and that extends on to Colorado. And then points up north and west and Canada. Good grief, for whatever reason. That's according to their historical measurements. They're up around 40 inches in some cases above normal. So that's good for us if we want cold air, because remember, the more snow there, the colder and denser the air is, the stronger it is, so the less it modifies when it gets down here into Oklahoma. All right, so that was a look at your very long-range extended outlook for both cold air and snow. Now, temperatures for your Sunday, the total opposite of what I just showed you. So we've got 72 here in Oklahoma City and in Tulsa, McAllister, even down at Dallas, probably about 72 or 73. Back out here in Elk City, 76. Then you get into the 80s out here in the Panhandle. This little brown area is anywhere from 83, 81, 84 degrees. So it's going to be another nice scorcher, if you want to call it that, out there in western parts of the Panhandle. All right. So what about wind speeds? So they were pretty light here, but they're going to be picking up a little bit. Now, tonight, still expect some patchy fog. I'll show you that here in a second. Wind speeds, though, still kind of staying up a little bit out here in northwest Oklahoma. Remember, that's where I showed you earlier on. We started the broadcast where those winds are still up a little bit, just some gusts. Now, as we head into 6 and 7 o'clock in the morning, they die off a little bit. So watch kind of this area here where the winds can really lighten up. Maybe this area in here. You might end up getting some of that fog. It could be dense at times or just otherwise patchy and light. As we go through time, though, the winds will pick up overall across the state in the morning hours. So this is 1 o'clock. You see the winds are picking up. This is the purple areas up around 20 knots. So 20 knots, you're looking at gusts obviously over 20 miles per hour, maybe 25 to 30 at times. Here over central Oklahoma and out west and northwestern parts of the state and up into Kansas. So that's 3 and 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So a little breezy for you. So it's kite flying weather if you'd like to do that, because with those temperatures in the 70s, it is going to be an absolutely perfect day once we burn off any of that morning fog. And then as we head into Sunday evening, winds kind of stay up a little bit in that same track from central Oklahoma out to the north and west. But then we head into Monday early morning hours for morning drive. Those winds will slack off a little bit, so we might still squeeze out some patchy fog. Again, I'll show you that here in a second. And then let's see, Monday afternoon, the winds pick right back up, and along with those warmer temperatures, so it should be fairly nice. All right, let me take a look at the fog situation. All right, so this is going to be a visibility forecast map, and you can see how the visibility drops down to 0 miles in the pink area across a large area here, western Oklahoma, points up to northwest by early tomorrow morning. So just kind of keep that in mind if you are driving out and about. That quickly mixes out. It's a great day otherwise. And then Monday morning around 6 a.m., the models are still kind of indicating you might have it to deal with a little bit of patchy fog from Oklahoma City area down south. Also a little patch up here in the north that may fill in during the mid-morning hours before burning off. And then one more round look cycle on Tuesday morning tries to produce a little bit of patchy fog in the morning. That's about it. So those are our reduced visibility opportunities. And then the clouds, of course, will increase on Wednesday, which is what this is alluding to, because we'll have that storm system coming in, which will turn into some rain. Now, temperatures here locally will be in the 70s for Sunday, Monday. Tuesday, Wednesday, overnight lows in the 50s. So it is going to be really nice weather, so enjoy it. And then we get into the 30s and maybe even some 20s again for the state as we head from Friday into Saturday for this upcoming weekend. So again, it'll be a hard freeze for some of you and a light freeze or frost for others. Then we're back into the 60s, so that's a nice little quick rebound in temperatures. Overnight lows still in the 40s. And as we alluded to, long term, let me take a sneak peek at what that may look like. Which one do I want to show you? Did I have something that went longer than that? You know what? I don't think I really did. That was probably worth looking at. So we'll leave it at that. That takes you to November the 17th, and that's what I've got for you. So there you go. That was a lot. But hey, you know, we had some time to talk, so that's what we did. All right, let me peruse your comments, questions, concerns, thoughts, suggestions, hate, love, all of the above. Thanks you guys again for checking in from on YouTube here. Jim from Mustangs, always in the house. Good to see you, Jim. Red on the head. Hey, we both have something in common. Loves that they get notified on YouTube. Yeah, YouTube really does a good job at your notifications. I know a lot of you, most of you watch me from Facebook, and I get it. You're familiar with that. You like it. It's easy to do. All that kind of stuff. But I do encourage you to sign up with my YouTube channel and hit the bell to get notified. That way you have redundancy on getting notifications if that's an issue, so you'll never miss a live broadcast, especially when it comes to winter storm forecasting or severe weather coverage. You obviously don't want to miss those. Let's see here. Hey, good to see you there, Donovan. Thanks for checking in. Team Larry in the chat. Yeah, Team Larry's always around here. Sometimes he's quite loud, and other times he's half asleep. Yeah, don't turn your high beams on during fog. Use those fog lights when you're driving. Good suggestion. All right, let me go to the the Facebook, rather. The other one I'm on right now. And see what we got here. So Ron, I see with some stars in the house, so thank you. Appreciate that. Wednesday through Saturday. Karen's asking, how will traveling to Kansas over Thanksgiving weekend? Oh, you want to go down to Thanksgiving. You want to go way out there in time. It should be fine. There wasn't anything that was showing up that was major. It's a pretty quiet pattern for most of November, besides this little bump here. They were coming up for Wednesday. There was another little shower signal we had for 16th, 17th. It was pretty weak, though, which is good. It means it's mostly uneventful, so it means traveling is a lot easier. And Ron, yeah, if you're just now tuning in, you're way late to the party, man. You missed the whole thing. Robert, thank you for the stars. Got quite a few badges there next to your name. That's a lot of action going on. Trent's in the house watching. Good to see you, brother. Was Coco copying me there, Brandon? Same time down at the minute? I'm not sure. I only see some of the comments. I can't see them all. And I'm scrolling backwards because, that's how I roll. Go on end of time. Let's see. Okay, if you guys have any questions for me now that I've not looked at maps anymore, I can actually read them. I will take a look, and then since Ron wants to know about deer hunting. Man, you got to watch out for COVID, though, Ron. Those deer are infected. They might get you infected. And if you before you say, are you serious? I'm like, yeah, actually, that's a thing. They've been infected since 2020 in the, it was in the fall. I think it was. It was in the fall of 2020. And I posted about it on Twitter, and it was due to manure spraying. And, of course, some of the idiots out there are saying it's due to hunting, human interaction from hunting. And then, no, that's not how that works. Not white-tailed deer. So these researchers are obviously not hunters, they're idiots. But the real truth is that because of all the farming, manure is sprayed everywhere. Well, that manure, of course, waste from the humans, processed but not processed enough, and et cetera, and then it gets both aerosolized once it's sprayed, and that aerosolized then is sprayed out everywhere, and that's how the animals are getting it. And so, but that's old news if you follow me, because I get into all that stuff. I've been diving so deep into COVID I can't see straight. But yeah, it's a scientist in me. By the way, Ed, I see you on YouTube. Appreciate you, brother. Tip for the tip of the hat. All right, so I will do a look at Thanksgiving in particular, since that was a direct question, and we'll see how the travel looks for all that. So let me load up a map here too. All right, so we'll say Thanksgiving, of course, is on Thursday, so that'll be the 25th. So let me see what we can do for the 25th. Hang on there. 2 shakes. Talk amongst yourself, right? First up, I got to go to the upper levels. So we'll just do this together, shall we? Oh, Misty. Man, I'm glad you said that, because I forgot. I talked to Jody about it today, and then I made a note to tell myself to tell you guys, but you get to fall back tonight. In other words, you gain an hour of sleep. Hope you live it up, party it up. Enjoy that hour. And it's funny as the falling back doesn't bother me. It's the springing forward that I can't stand. Let's see here. All right, the 25th. This model doesn't quite go out that far. That's probably why I didn't talk too much about it. So let's go to another model. Now, of course, the accuracy of this is going to be a little suspect, going way out in time for specific details. But given what it says, we'll just go with that, right? Because that's all we have to work with. All right, that's on the 22nd. All right, this particular model has a little cutoff low pressure system right here. And then typically that would come across and bring us some storms. So maybe I'm lying. Maybe there will be some action around here for Thanksgiving travel. Now, this a lot of times these guys can just sit out here and spin and do nothing, or they can retrograde and then eventually come across, or they can die out, or they can go way down south. There's all kinds of ways these little guys can go. But most of the time, once they get set up in here, they spin for a little bit, and then they shear apart. Either all their energy comes out in pieces, or the whole thing comes across as one wave, and we get one round of storms, and then it's gone. Now, of course, if you can't time this just right, you could get cold air that comes into place. Then this stuff over here overrides it, and then that gives us usually a little bit of fun stuff when it comes to winter weather. So that's on the table too once we get into the latter part of the season. Or in this case, last year about last week, and then we had an ice storm. Same kind of setup. You get a low out there out west. That can cause some trouble. So let's see what it does with precipitation. And then, unfortunately, I'm going to have to infer and or pick a really unreliable model to go after that. So let's see what happens. All right, so the pattern brings down a nice high for the 18th. Nice quiet dome. Oh, and there's a little signal. Where's that rain at? On the 21st. Okay, so there's a little storm action on the 21st across the eastern parts of the state, Missouri, Arkansas. Otherwise, still quiet across the bulk of the plains. I forgot where you said you were traveling to. Where'd you say you were going? Kansas. Oh, yeah, far to go. So some storms there in eastern parts of Kansas there on the 21st, on Monday. Let's see, then that system kind of moves through, so the 22nd's looking good. And remember, we have a little system out west of us, but right now, there's no strong signals for rain once that one goes. There's no big surface high either. Here is a little weak Pacific high. It looks like something like this. That's kind of bottled up and trapped. It may come down here in time for Thanksgiving, and then that would override it. So, there could be some monkey business going on. Now, unfortunately, this model's as far as it goes in time. I can see an updated version of it, which goes out another 12 hours, I believe. That might be all I have to work with. Yep, it is. And it might be a completely different look. There's a surface low, or surface high there. Let me see. Still has the rain, though. It moved it up, though, to the 19th. You see what I'm saying? This is the same model. The only difference is it was run, was it 6 hours apart from the other one, and it has the rain a completely different day. It has it on the 19th. Now, it's the same signal. Same front helped to generate that, but obviously completely different on the timing. Let's see, which probably means the upper level pattern is different too. But hey, this is what happens when you look at stuff way out in time. You have to get a lot less specific and a lot more generic, because it won't pan out exactly as it says. So really, you're looking for trends or signals, and even those will change. All right, so that low that we were looking at that was dropping into place, it shears apart down to Texas. Doesn't even stay out in the southwest, and it's nothing. Just goes into an overall northwest flow. So in a northwest flow overall, you can get little ripples that'll ride down. Sometimes they'll come over here and they'll ride down. They might produce a little cloud cover, might get some light sprinkles out of it. But it's a pretty stable pattern for us, and just off and on cold or cool. All right, now we're going to go to the climate model. Now this is going to be really inaccurate, but we're going to do it anyway to look for a signal. That's the only thing we're really going to do this for. All right, just because you asked about Thanksgiving. Okay, so let's go on up here, the 21st. So it does have that little signal for the little wave coming through to provide some rain on the 19th or 20th. That one's gone. Let's see here. The 23rd is the Tuesday. Okay, a little system moves by real quick, no big deal. All right, now we're on the 25th, Thanksgiving itself. So should this pattern materialize, and it's actually similar to that last model panel we just saw. High pressure ridge down here and a northwest flow, so mainly uneventful. So active weather across the country in this pattern. Will be a little bit of light stuff up here across the western sides of the Great Lakes, north of Chicago, maybe even into Chicago, and points out west from there to a state. And then let's see what happens after that. Let's go to that's Thursday. Oh, and then once that system moves into northeast for Thursday night, provides a little inclement weather, looks like, for the northeast for Thursday night for Thanksgiving. And then on Friday, that's quickly out of there, so they get improving weather for Friday. We have a little system that's coming across the Rockies during the day on Friday, maybe a little light snow or sprinkle generator for those folks. And then on Saturday, that starts to open up a wave here, and delete off the page for Saturday. So some inclement weather looks like for late Friday. So yeah, that would be late Friday and Saturday here across Oklahoma, and then that would dip on down to Mexico for that weekend. All right, so let's see what precipitation falls underneath those areas of disturbed weather. Okay, so there's our little signal for rain here in Oklahoma on around the 20th. Okay, so we get that out of here. And then what we got? Let's head on to 20. So here's the little stuff for Chicago I mentioned. This is for Thanksgiving morning. And then for Thanksgiving in the evening, there's the Northeast starting to get a little bit of, looks like some light snow for those folks for Thursday night. Otherwise, pretty decent here across southern plains. Might be a little breezy. And let's see, no rain yet. This is on Saturday morning now. Starting to get a little bit of shower activity in the cards, looks like, for eastern Oklahoma, western Arkansas. And there's a little system that sets up with the upper level low pressure that's building and moving in for the Saturday time frame. So it does have more rain across Oklahoma. Chilly rain, looks like, for the state. And it has some snow for the Panhandle and the Colorado. So this is the weekend following Thanksgiving. So this will be on the 26th and 27th, the storm system taking shape. And it does, believe it or not, produce a little bit of snow here across Oklahoma for Sunday morning. I'm glad you asked that question. I'm glad we looked at this. Now, again, this is a climate forecast model, which is not really made to get too specific. So grain of salt. But there's a signal we shall watch for, right? And that is at the end of the month. So remember, it's going to be cold at the end of the month, that little short cold spell we talked about in the prior data. So that all jives. That all looks about the same. All right. Then anything after that, since I already got this map up, we talked about the cold weather with it. I just didn't really focus on the snow pattern, rainfall pattern. So there's, remember the 4th, as we head into the 4th of December, there was going to be a lot of snow developing north of us, a little bit here in Oklahoma. So that's this system right here. A big 1040 high out here across southern western Canada to build in. That comes right down the Rockies. Remember I told you about if it comes down the Rockies, we're in trouble. It's our coldest of the cold. And these are isobars, these little black lines, when they're packed together like this, so close, that means a couple things. One, very strong winds, a very strong pressure gradient, which also correlates to typically some very cold air. So you get very cold air advection. Okay, so that's on the 4th of December. That high builds on in. Some more snow stuff out west and northwest of us. So it's pretty close, you know, so it's definitely worth keeping an eye on to see if we get a little more in that or a little bit less. But that would be the first, probably of many ways we'll be watching from December onward. And then we'll see how it goes. So that's a little sneak peek at what could potentially be here on Thanksgiving and elsewhere for your travels. All right, well, that was a good question, so thanks for that one, Karen. All right, Bruce, thank you for the stars. I see you, brother. Kelly, good to see you checking in. Hope you're doing well. You still keeping up with your boot camp exercises? I haven't done any type of boot camp stuff in forever. Ever since leaving Sean's class, just do gym stuff and low impact cardio. I don't do any functional training, throwing big tractor tires around. Although I did miss that. That was fun. Yeah, we're on 18 days out, so let's take that forecast to the bank, man. I'd go to Vegas and let it ride. That's what I would do. Let's see what else we got. All right, so I believe that was it. I'm going to check on out, but thanks for you guys for hanging with me here on this Saturday evening for a little bit so we could talk to you about some extended weather. And we'll, of course, do more updates as we get closer to those events, and we'll fine-tune all the dirty details for you. But thanks for the comments, questions, and follows, and likes, and all that kind of stuff. And we'll do this again soon. Sleep well. Take care. Have a good night.